Class 9 CBSE History Lesson number 1 Part 2. The title is French Society during the late 18th century. Actually, under this topic, we are going to see 4 classes: political class, social class, economic class, and intellectual class. But in this, we are going to see political class and social classes. In 1774, Louis XVI of the Bourbon family of kings ascended the throne of France. 1774, Louis XVI, he belonged to the Bourbon family. Bourbon families in lower standard were learnt about the Rajput, slave dynasty, Khilji dynasty, Lodi dynasty, likewise Mughals, Marathas. So like that, Louis belonged to Bourbon family of kings and he ascended the throne of France. He was only 20 years old when he ascended the throne of France, and he was married to the Austrian princess Marie Antoinette. Actually, Austria is in Europe. So as soon as he ascended the throne, he checked the treasury was empty. He was much alarmed. So these were, now we are going to learn the political classes. Totally 6 points are there. One by one we will learn. First one, long years of war had drained the financial resources of war. That is, continuous war. Nearly more than 100 years France and Britain were fighting. So due to this continuous war, treasury became empty. This is the first reason. Second one, the cost of maintaining an extravagant court at the immense palace of Versailles. That is, Versailles was a palace which was situated outside the city, and mostly the king and queen will be enjoying there, leading a luxurious life there. So in order to maintain that palace, they unnecessarily wasted the money. So this is the second cause. Third one, under Louis XVI, France helped the 13 American colonies in order to gain their independence from the common enemy Britain. Normally we know that Britain was the enemy of France. But here 13 colonies, that is American colonies, were under the control of Britain. And American want to come out of that by getting the independence. So at that time, France helped these 13 American colonies in order to gain their independence from its common enemy, Britain. This is the third one. Next is fourth one. Because of this, the war added more than 1 billion livres, L-I-V-R-E-S. Livres is nothing but is the unit of currency in France. But actually, it was cancelled after 1794, and now franc was the currency of France. So that has already risen to more than 2 billion livres. 1 billion rose to 2 billion livres. And the lenders, that is the money lenders, they gave credit to the state. So they now began to charge 10% interest on the loans what they gave for the government. So the French government was obliged. Obliged means what? Means to force somebody to do something. That is, they want to spend an increasing percentage of its budget on paying the interest alone. So they have to pay the interest alone, 10% interest. It is not a easy one. So in order to meet their regular expenses means first one, cost of maintaining the army. That is very important. Second one, want to maintain the court. Then want to run the government offices. Then want to run the universities. So for all this, the state was forced to increase the taxes. But however, when they are increasing the taxes, they have to compulsorily give that interest, 10% interest also. So yet, these are the 6 points, yet even these measure would not have sufficed. So though they are collecting more amount as the taxes also, it is not sufficient for them to run, because they want to maintain the economy, court, government offices, universities, etc. And as well they have to pay the interest. 10% interest is not so easy. So these 6 points were the political causes of the French Revolution. Now we are going to see the social causes. Actually, our French society in the 18th century, it was divided into 3 estates. First estate, second estate, and third estate. First estate, mostly clergy people. Second estate, nobles. Third estate, common people. That is from the big businessman to the labor and servants, all belong to the third estate. So, I told about this paying the taxes, no? So, the French society already they divided. Already they divided into 3 estates, and only the members of the third estate, they should pay the taxes. How is it possible for the third estate members to pay the taxes? First estate clergy people, they are very rich. Second estate nobles also same. But the third estate, normal common people. But it is said that only they have to pay the taxes. And the society of estates was part of the feudal system that dated back to the Middle Ages. Feudal system means normally king will be the head. Then after that, clergy people. Clergy means the church peoples, bishop, father, like that. Those who are attending the function of the church. Then under that, nobles. Nobles means aristocracy like landlords. Then vassals. Vassals, small parts. Then knights. Knights is nothing but they are maintaining the soldiers. And then peasants, that is farmers. So, they were dated back to the Middle Ages. And the term old regime is nothing but old system to run the government. It was usually used to describe the society and the institution of France before 1789. You have to remember that. Old regime is used to describe the society and institutions of France before 1789. And you could have seen this picture. See, first estate clergy, second estate nobles, third estate mostly educated person, big businessmen, merchants, court officials, lawyers, then peasants, artisans, small peasants, landless, laborers, servants, etc. So you have to remember this. How the French society was organized in the system of estates. So the peasants, that is the farmers, made up of nearly 90% of the population. Total population is farmers. However, only a small number of them owned the land they cultivated. Nearly 60% of the land was owned by the nobles, by the church people and other rich members of the third estate. So the members of the first 2 estates, that is the clergy and the nobles, they enjoyed certain privileges. Privileges is nothing but facilities, some facilities by birth itself. And the most important of these was exemption from paying the taxes to the state. The nobles further enjoyed the feudal privileges. That is feudal privileges, and these include what means feudal dues. Feudal dues is compulsory payment. Compulsory payment either in the kind of cash or services. Kind is nothing but cultivable products. Cash, Services want to give free services. So, The nobles enjoyed these privileges. And the feudal dues which was extracted from the peasants. And the peasants were obliged to render services to the lord, or they have to work in their house, or they have to work in their fields, or they have to serve in the army, or they have to participate in building the roads. Even the church too extracted its share of taxes. Two taxes was collected. One is tithe, next one is tithe. This tithe was collected from the peasants. Tithe is nothing but a tax which was levied by the church, comprising 1/10 of the agricultural produce. 1/10 they have to pay. And next is direct tax. The direct tax which is called as tithe. Tithe is tax to be paid directly to the state. And number of indirect taxes which were levied on the articles of everyday consumption. Everyday consumption means salt, tobacco, like that. So the burden of financing activities of the state through taxes was borne only by the third estate only. Now see this picture. See, one person is a nobleman. This nobleman is considered as a spider, and he is the peasant. He is considered as a fly. See what and all he is having in his hand. He was having grain, fruits, money, salad. But this landlord, he sits there and he is ready to accept it all. He does not even care to grace him with a look. Just like that he is sitting. Okay. So this is called as the spider and the fly. And next we'll go to part 3, the struggle to survive.